Good morning. It is time to teach you guys how I use the clan wars in terms of how I counter. So, as you can see, I already have some screenshots that I took from the first wave of the clan wars. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the workshop. I have this called Scratchpad, basically an empty team that I use to build things. I'm going to highlight some things on what I'm building against. I'm going to start off with, first of all, I am building this. I'm going to show you several different teams, but this is the first one I'm trying to beat. This one is a team where it's nothing but physical mechs, and so I'm going to analyze them for vulnerabilities. Probably going to end up doing this, whatever. Alright, first thing I do is I look at their resistance pattern. If you look right here, you can see that, I wish there was a marquee zoom. This is the second mech, so I'm going to sort of have to play around with this, but the first mech, if I remember correctly, was entirely heat based, so I'm going to do some stuff here in terms of creating a quick mech that I'm going to use against the first one, because I did not get a recording of him. So I'm going to use my trusty abomination, my heck. I think he had only enough resistance for one, so I'm going to put one of these on here. Anyways, the first one I'm going to have to guess because honestly I don't remember. That's why you get a screenshot of all three of them. But because I'm going against physical, I'm going to want to have as high as a physical resistance as I can, and a lot of armor. So, but let's go ahead and actually show you an example. Like, this is my second mech. This is his second mech. His resistance pattern is lowest to heat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a heat mech. And you notice, I can see how much resistance he has, right? He only has 30. Oops. He only has 30. So all I need is one of these to get him to 0. I mean, you can use more, but I'm basically making a really basic configuration here. Again, he's physical, so the best I can do in terms of resistance is to use, because I don't have any fortresses, I'm using defense matrix. And I'm going to stack some platinums on this guy too. Alright, and then I'm going to go to the third mech. Basically what happens is two things. First of all, the resistance pattern that the enemy has, or the weapons that they have in terms of them being physical, is what I want to make my resistance the best at. So this is probably the highest I'm going to get because I don't have fortresses. Now that I look at his stats are actually decent, so there's not really any chance of me countering him with maybe a physical, or countering him in such a way that I can use a drainer, or an energy drainer, or a boiler to do this. But what I can do, I can also do this. Put this on here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put recoiler on here. And I'm going to put this, and I'm going to put this. Basically, I'm just building a team to attack this guy, right? Honestly, I'm not going to get very high on the spectrum here in terms of what resistances I have. So this guy, the first guy is 30. So on the first guy, all I need is that one. The second guy has 69 resistance. Sorry, the third. So the third's right there. Now what I need to do is I need to, so my resistance matches what his element is, so that I can survive. I have a lot of armor because this guy is pretty powerful. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what weapons I have. On this mech, I just need enough energy to regen because all of his mechs are physical. I don't have to worry about being drained. So 19 plus 104 is 123. 123, 154. So I need 154 regen, approximately, right? So, but what I mainly need is a lot of heat. So I don't have 154 regen yet. Could probably do this. Yeah. All right. Because I want to keep the weight low. All right. On the second mech, he's physical. So again, all I need to do is have enough energy to do what I need to do. 25 energy there. Yeah, that uses 25. This doesn't use anything. So this one can be nothing but heat. Right? Now, because I have some weight left over, I want to add some resistance strain here. So I'm going to hit him with a lot of resistance strain. There's that guy. Alright. Because I have the ability to do so, I'm going to put teleporters on all my mechs, just in case. The computer is the one actually piloting the defense mechs that I'm going to be going up against, so it's probably not going to be an issue. Alright, so this one, how much energy do I need to run it? 25, 19, that's 30, 44, put that on here. I only need 44 to run this mech with energy, and it's already got that, so again, I could focus on nothing but heat. I don't have enough modules to do that, but I could. So the goal is to basically counter the enemy. So now that I've built this, I'm going to go over here and find Mr. Faust. Yep, there he is. First mech is physical just like all the others. So here we go. Of course this game is built on RNG, but you know, you can still do some good stuff with it. Alrighty then. I should have brought more resistance because he has more resistance than I thought he did. Or res drain, I should say. I should have brought 2, but that's fine. He's got a lot of cooling, so I may not be able to do this. But I can keep spamming my hybrid heat cannon to at least take one of his turns away, even if I can't really get him to the point where it's actually harming him. That's on this game, in terms of the clan wars, the attackers almost always have the advantage. Here comes the second one. Now right here, I could just keep going, and I probably will. Because all of his mechs are physical, it doesn't really matter which one I'm using right now. I will show you a one of each team here in a second, however, that would make this more important. Alright, I'm going to use the extra res drain because it doesn't cost me any backfire. So that's already going pretty well. So because I'm heat, I'm just going to keep going. Because I'm just trying to keep doing damage. So he's already at 14, and my next mech is at like 3,000. So I have twice the armor that he does, so this is why you counter as well as you can. Attacker always has the benefit in the clan wars, specifically because you see the person's mechs and they can't do anything to change or their lineup or anything. So there we go. Ta-da! Alright. Now, let's see here. I'm going to have to refer to my clan war plan, because in my clan, Noble Warriors, we plan out how we do this. How many Mr. Fausts are there? Okay, the second one is Killer Bunny. So what I'm going to do, you don't see it off screen, but I've already screenshot a lot of these, so I'm gonna open them. Boop, boop. And there's this one. Oops, did I get them in the wrong order? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so here we go. The next person I'm going up against is like this. So, because this is the second wave of the clan wars, I'm going to once again intentionally build a counter for this person. So this person is heat. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to like scrub everything off of this. Just basically reset my mechs and start over. I'm going to leave these on there for the second. Okay. So now look at my first mech. First mech I'm going against, Killer Bunny. They're a heat mech, so I want to maximize my heat resistance. Just in this scenario, I'm going to actually build the maximum heat resistance I can for this guy using EFA. Don't panic, trust me, there's a reason. I note that his energy, this guy's enemy mech is low on energy and physical, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build myself basically a physical mech. So I'm going to go like this, this. I think I'm going to do no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do this. Because this guy's a heat mech, I'm going to refrain from using distance shredder. And I'm going to use this and this. Now, because they're heat though, however, I'm going to have to make sure that I have enough energy to run things. So this uses 31, 25, that's 56. And then this is 60, 72. So all I need is 72 regen. I'm almost there. 72 regen. And I have to go and steal some stuff from the other mechs. Hold on here. So there's that. And I'm going to go like this and put resistance on there to drain them just once, because that's all I'm going to probably need. And I don't have enough regen, so there you go. Second mech. So here's the second one. The second one does not have heat resistance at all, so I think I'm going to stay with this. I'm just going to do something like one of these, because he doesn't have heat resistance. But I think I'm going to use the one configuration I was using before. So I'm going to do something like... Where's my abomination? There it is. I'm going to do something like this for his second mech. Use heat damage because his heat resistance is the lowest. I still got this. I could probably go like this. And because they are a heat mech, I'm going to try to counter them like this. Now let's look at my energy. First I need to do this, or resistance. Alright. This is probably, if you notice, Lightning Platinum has more resistance for heat and Molten. Sort of like they were flipped. Anyway. Go like this. Now, how much energy do I use in a single turn? 19, 1, 23, 154. Okay, so let's give me 154. Alright, there we go. That's 154. I don't like how low the cooling is, so I might do this. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. They don't have heat bombs, so that should be good enough for what I need to do with this. Alright, now the third mech they have is physical. If you look at their resistance pattern before I actually triggered it, the resistance pattern seemed to indicate that they're low on heat, so once again I'm going to be using heat damage for this. So let's see here. But they're physical, so I really don't need a lot of heat. So what I could do is something like this. They're physical though, so it doesn't really matter which of these I use. Should probably use. So what I'm gonna have to do is probably something like this. Alright, so that should counter physical mech guy, because we have our max resistance here. Now, the second one was also heat. Thing is, I do have enough of these ultra hots, but I haven't really upgraded any yet, so for now, I can just skip that. Okay, so now I need to go and beat up Killer Bunny. Let's see if I can find Killer Bunny on the map. Alright, Killer Bunny is here. So here we go. I have to watch my heat. Maybe I should have put a little bit more heat on this. That's fine. Because resistance is doing its job, keeping me alive. I think I'm going to do this. Okay. Now, see here, that's the second guy. So what we can do at this point, if we want to, is we can switch, but this is the one that I had the ultra hot protector on, so in theory I can just keep going. There are some teams where they have one of each that I have to intentionally switch every single time. And I've already beat up 2 of their mechs with 1. So you see how this is already going for them. Not very well. That's why you should never be afraid of the enemy mech. Just go in there and do your best. Because you're probably still going to win. See? Ta-da! I'm going to save 1 attack on this account, and I'm going to pause recording real quick and switch to my alt. Okay, now I'm back on my alt. Basically what I'm going to do, I can do that later. I'm going to do the same thing. Go over here to my scratch pad, which is basically just a way of saying a place where it's based on computers, some embedded computer systems where a scratch pad memory is basically its quick thinking area, if that makes sense to you. So now I'm going to go over here. My clan actually plans out which mechs it attacks everything with. So on my alt, let's see here, I'll go like this. Alright, so on my alt, this is what I'm up against. Okay, so let's go ahead and plan our attack here. The person is weakest on physical resistance and they're a heat mech. And I think I left this guy already configured for this. See, I don't have any custom resistance, so I have to use defense matrices and max protectors. So, okay, so this guy has, I'm going to go ahead and pull these things off of here for a second and just configure, okay, so he's weakest to physical, so I'm going to go physical, and I have my resistance set up to be the strongest in heat, at least the best I can. The second one is energy. So with the energy guy, I already have HPV. Yes, it is useful specifically for Clan Wars and for Titans. So I'm going to use it with my 100. I'm going to have 152 energy resistance to attack this guy. And you notice basically, I'm going to pull these off of here, but basically, you can already tell I configured this thing for Mad Cat. And then I'm going to pull these off of here too, because third guy is weakest to physical. So I'm going to build a physical mech, and I'm going to have physical resistance. So, ta-da! Basically, now you figured out what I did. Now, this is one of those places where if you're going after heat mechs, you do have to do some stuff that's a little bit more specific. So, for example, on this guy, I'm going to need to have tons of heat. But then what I do is I go and add up 25, 30, that's 55, that's 86, 112. I need to have about 112 regen with this guy, just so I can fire my weapons. Actually, honestly, if I'm 112, let's do this, watch. I need 112 in terms of regen to make this work. So what I could do is this, okay, and then I'm attacking this guy, so I might as well go ahead and add heat. I'm using single modules just right now so I can show you something. So, because I'm going to think in single modules, but then I'm going to reconfigure everything for combined. Second guy is energy, so what I want to do is probably have enough heat on this guy, 25, let's see, 25, 41, 57, and no heat here, 57, I'll take this off here for a second. So I need 57 heat times about 3 or 4 turns. 57 times 4 is 300 approximately. I already have enough heat. So in theory I could just go this whole round without any heat modules at all. So to prevent being drained, I could just do something like countery like this. Just like, you know, tons. But we'll see. Now, the reason I put, like if I look at my enemies, 21, 27, 22, this guy is the guy that has less armor. So I might be inclined to put that here just to buff up HPV. And then the third one is physical. His resistance pattern is lowest on physical. Yeah, I think I basically had already configured this to be good. So basically what I can do is I can do something from like the clever jumper config and just put this on there, right? I could do that. I think that would be unfair to the other mechs because I have, like the problem is here on this account I don't have enough modules is really the problem. Like I don't have enough platinums, so this is going to be a difficult match. So I can still compensate though. I'm going to take all the combines off of here that I can, because I'm going to go over here and add them to my other guys. And this guy probably doesn't need anything. Yeah. So that's basically how it would end up. One thing I can do though is I can make them very, very resilient to attack though. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this to give him more heat, even though he doesn't really need it. Just in case this guy ends up failing to attack the heat guy. But then I'm countering the heat guy by having so much capacity that it's just impossible for him to drain. Same with this. So much capacity and regen, it's going to be impossible for him to drain me with energy with the second mech. Then the third one just basically does whatever it wants. So, I could just do this. Just putting, I don't like iron plating, I'm just going to say this, but in this case, it's only useful because I want to see if I can be survive this person as well as possible. So, that's basically all I can do. So, I'm going to go find Mad Cat on the map. Mad Cat. There we are. Go ahead and go in here and see how our counters work. Mad Cat. There we go. Here we go. Here's how it goes. My heat cooling and capacity are so high, I'm just going to push through. See? He couldn't, like, slow me down, so I'm already good. Now at this point, because my resistance pattern isn't the best for this guy, I am immediately going to switch. I should probably put the EMP on this one, but that's okay. Because it's basically going to be impossible for him to drain me. And he already didn't have very much energy anyway. So it's already pretty bad for him. This guy has energy-free weapons, so there's really no point in trying to drain him. It would probably help a lot in terms of me beating him up. But the point here is, in the Clan Wars, if I understand how the mechanisms work with this computer, in terms of like the computer and like the way it does things. Let me see here. How do I want to do this? This is 3 to 6. To me, it seems like the way to win is to have the most physical, the most armor plating left. So that's why I'm switching, is to maximize how efficient my mechs are. The more HP I come away with, in theory, I should have a higher percentage score. And that's important because that's how we win. So Mad Cat is at 85. That's actually a really good percentage. Alright, who's our next foe? Mad Cat. Alright, I'm going to go over here and find the config of the person I want to attack next. Yep, here's the second guy. Hold on. Boop, boop. Alright, so now we have some stuff to attack. So, this is going to be some interesting stuff. Alright, so let me get out of here and go and build a custom config for that. Whatever. It's not telling me. Workshop. Alright, so the first guy is heat. I don't really have to do much of anything for this. The issue though is this guy's got a lot of hit points, so I'm going to take this stuff down just temporarily so that I can adjust my mechs. So the first guy is heat, and his resistance is lowest in heat. So I'm actually going to reconfigure everything now because there's a reason. So the first guy has lowest resistance as heat. I'm just putting these here as placeholders. The first guy is weakest to heat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build heat damage. Their capacity isn't very high either, to be honest. So in theory, maybe I could have actually put a heat bomb on here in addition, but for now, I'm going to hold off. 16, 19, that's 35. 35, that's energy free, so all I need is 35. So that's already done, essentially. Let's see what the next guy is. The second guy is, like, the first guy is actually weak to both heat and energy, so I'm going to have to strategize. Because this guy, well, he's not really weak to energy because if you look at his weapons, he's got those energy-free ones, so that would be a bad mistake. I'm just going to go with heat on this guy. Heat damage. Alright, this guy, his capacities and stuff are actually okay, but if you look at this, he has a mercy, so, and also he has a distance shredder, so going energy-free wouldn't help me. So, of all the things he has resistance on, heat would probably be the best option for this guy, ironically enough. And he's physical, so I need to have physical resistance. Where's my physical boots? I'm going to have to switch these out real quick. Physical. What I'm going to do to maximize my resistance for this guy. Physical. take this off for a second. Take this and put physical here, and he seems to be weakest to heat. He doesn't have a very high capacity. At this point, I might actually be tempted to put, like, this guy's got lower capacity. Maybe what I need to do is, instead of making this guy heat damage, maybe I need to make him heat boiler. So what I need to do here then is I need to this. You might roll up on me, so I could just do that. I'm cautious of putting this on there though, because like it's going to bring up my energy needs, which means I might actually need to. Yeah, unfortunately, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to like switch torsos out. He's going to have to become. It's going to have to become a boiler. That's fine. Trust me, it'll work. Work just fine. There we are. Alright, so, because 220, 233, maybe 233 regen. That's probably close enough. Alright, so let's see, second mech. That second mech is right there. I was like doing this for the first, like this one was for the first mech. Second mech, this guy is weakest on heat, so I'm going to use this one as heat damage. I have another heat bomb, so ironically I can do that too, but I'm not going to. Just kill him as fast as I can instead. Alright, so that means, oops, this, I don't think I need any stuff. This guy's physical, so honestly I really don't need very much in terms of my stuff. This guy doesn't, okay, this has 31, let's add up heat cost, 31, 78, 122, 170. 170 times 4 is basically 680, so 700. So if I have 700 capacity of heat on this guy, I should be able to go the whole round without a single cooldown. Yeah, so there you go. So I'll do that on this guy. Then their third mech is high in, let's see, which one is the highest in terms of its armor? The first one. So first one, should probably have that. Alright, so third one is another physical, so I'm going to go over here and use another vest. I don't have another physical legs, so I'll use the best I have. In terms of armor, it's not going to give me resistance, but oh well. I'm going to do this. Actually, you know what? If this one has the thing, I'm going to have to use this over here. Alright, physical. Honestly, I could just do this. I should at least have one of these. I don't think, if you look at this guy, I don't think he has the ability to really run away. And he's energy free, so that doesn't help me very much, but physical will be fine. So bring him in. Well, you know, the best way to do this in terms of just raw output of damage would be this and this. Which means I'm going to try to put a resistance on there. Not really have one, but he's already pretty weak to that resistance, so I'm fine. Put this on here, I guess, instead. Well, I should probably have at least two because. Now, this guy's physical, so I really don't need to do very much of anything, so I could put some sort of pattern on here that's sort of similar to the Clever Jumper, minimal energy and heat. And I can just do that. This guy, let's see, what can I do to help him out? No, he's fine. This guy, is going against the physical, so it really doesn't need much anyway. So, but he's going to produce a lot of heat, so what I should probably do. So the first guy's the only one going against heat. That doesn't really help very much. A little bit, not very much. This guy really doesn't need anything. I think what I'll do is I'll do this. So what I'll try to do is this. It's not like I really need energy, but they're on there anyway. Actually, that's a good point. What should I put on there? Probably should put on there more heat. Because honestly, freaking, these things cause a lot of heat. Which means maybe I should have, like, pushed some stuff over here. Why do I want to do that? Oh, that's probably as good as it gets. Well, to be fair, I want to keep firing as much as possible, so that here. Alright, so it looks like basically that's the best I can do. I'll put this here because I want orange. This doesn't really matter. Alright, so it looks like I've built a counter team for all these guys, the best I can. So I'm going to go in there and freaking attack them. Let's see. Yeah, he's over on the top left. Yeah. Wait a minute. Did I switch around the order? Huh. Is there another one? Hold on. This guy has several different configs that are the same. Okay. Then which one did I attack? Hold on a second. Because I'm wondering about the order in which those photos hit. Hold on. Because it's better to make sure that I'm stacked the way I need to be stacked. I may have accidentally recorded them backwards. But what I can do then is I can like go like this. The second one, actually hold on. The second one that I built was for this way. So, okay. Well, even then, if I have to teleport one in there, I can do it. So here we go. Let's see what we get. Well, yeah, this is the right one. Alright, so got him. This guy is Claw. That's who's supposed to be doing this. Alright, good. Probably gonna keep trying to use whatever. Alright, this is gonna end. Alright. Then the next guy is Heatmonger. I'm gonna keep playing because it doesn't really matter. see what I want to do. Yeah, this guy's got those premium ones. So now I'm just going to drive that freaking in as hard as I can. Because this person is already like, of course the computer plays for you in this game, in Clan Wars, but I've already like driven that nail in as hard as I can. So that's how you sort of do it. Again, these are sort of like, I don't know if I would say that they're the best counters, but they are counters that I have built. They're not necessarily the hard counters, but they should work pretty well for you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you for watching this and have a great day.